see. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. And if you're not here for the live, welcome to the replay crew. All right. This is Pammy with Monjaro Journey with Pam. And I'm going to go ahead and put on my hat today for Mickey Mouse. We've got our crop top. And look at this is another overlay I thought I would share with you guys because a lot of us who are maybe insecure of our arms, there's a lot of different sleeves out there. And so you can have your tank top on. And if you don't like your jigglies, you can buy these like shawl type of covers. So let me go ahead and come over here and check out and make sure we're on live. And then we're going to go ahead and do our daily 50. Let's see, where am I on live? View my channel. Here we go. All right, so welcome, guys. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is Sunday afternoon, and I expect that. Oh wait, let me see. I got to make sure it didn't link over here. So, hey Jack, I wonder if you can hear me on here. I think so. All right, welcome, guys. Welcome. Okay, let me just make sure. I think you guys can hear me, right? Leave me a comment. I forgot to drop like a pinned comment. So I was actually going to use, let's see, let's spin it over. Let's do our intro video. I'm like, it is not. Let's see. Like you're not being able to hear the video. No, I'm on live and it's my AirPods are messing up. All right, guys, hang on, stand by. Let's go ahead and let's do a standby real quick. So let's do this one real quick. All right, let's see, just checking the volume. We're gonna change the headphones out. And I feel like okay, let's see, show Bluetooth devices. How's everybody doing, guys? How is everybody doing? Let's go ahead and I'm gonna turn off my Bluetooth real quick and then make sure that I am. How's everybody doing, guys? Okay, now I think you guys can hear me. All righty, so let's go ahead and go back to our intro. Without further ado, now I think you guys can hear me. All righty, so let's go ahead and go back to our intro. Without further ado. Hello, welcome to Pammy and Monjaro Journey with Pam. I wanted to show you some before pictures and then we're going to go ahead and move on to our program. So you see a variety of different sizes here, starting with 2010. And this was before my gastric bypass revision. And then in 2018, I had lost a little bit of weight. I was traveling for work. These are some faces during my weight loss, especially in the first year or two, actually, the first 2 years. And then also a previous picture in 2018 with the graduation. And here I am now after losing 165 pounds. It took 2 years to get that weight off. But look at all the things I'm doing now. I'm living my life again. I'm moving. I'm enjoying my family and going to do fun things. This picture right here, it was after my gastric bypass 1 year after that. So that was a long time ago. And yeah, walking by the beach, here's some sunsets. I like to share those. And I love gardening and coffee. Today, we're going to go ahead and do our daily 50. Let's get started. And you don't even have to put on your shoes. All righty. So let's go ahead and let's do our daily 50. All righty. So we're going to start off, and let me just make sure that we have a good angle here. We do 5 things. We do 10 sets. We're going to do modified push ups. So you can choose your countertop wherever you are. Movement doesn't require a gym membership. And that's what we're all about here. It's about using what you have where and then starting where you are at your level. So we're going to do squats, and we'll grab a chair and do like chair squats where you tap your chair, and I think that is important for longevity. And then we're going to do modified push-ups against the countertops. We'll even do our plank against the countertop. Then we'll do some lunges, so that's 4 items. And then we'll do some knee lifts where we're tapping our knees, and you'll see that whenever I move the camera. And as well, I think I don't have my weights in here, so I don't know if we'll do the arms. I thought about arms the other day. So let's see. Maybe my handy dandy assistant might come in and help me. So let's go ahead. So weird having, oh, here we go. No wonder. Okay. So what we're gonna do, I think it's so important that we um apply where people are currently at. So if you are not able here, let's get this angle just right. If you're not able to squat all the way, grab a chair, and then you're going to do some chair taps. And I'm going to angle this so you can see the chair so you won't see as much here. Here's your chair. And if you want, you can use your chair for balance and then do the squat like this, or we can go ahead and squat right into the chair. So let's get going. Make sure I'm not missing anyone as they're coming in. So, hello. All right, so we're going to do tap. So that's one. And then on your way up, you're going to squeeze the glutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I should have this on vertical. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let me see if it would look better if we just go ahead and go to vertical. Let's see. Oh no, I guess it says you have to, since I started it in landscape, we're going to stay in landscape. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, so we just did 10 of the chair taps. Now, we're also going to then do some lunges. And if you're not steady yet, you can use your chair as a sturdy support, right? Or the countertop. And so what you want to do is you're going to do a lunge. So this is a front lunge, and you're going to bend your knee, do a 90-degree angle, not overextending your knee so you don't injure yourself. Okay. So let me just move this out of the way. Oh, but you could use that if that's what you needed. So hello, hello. Let me know where you say hi, and let me know where you're logging in from today. Okay, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I know we're only doing 10 each, but I'm going to go ahead and do 10 on this other leg. So for the left leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So again, if you're not sturdy on your feet yet, you could do these lunges, grab your water, and use it for support. All right. Next thing we're going to do are modified push ups. Paula, hello, Paula. Yes, doing a little bit better. It's definitely, um, kind of comes and goes in waves. So much to deal with at once, right? Okay. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. And appreciate your prayers. Yeah, such a whammy. And I hear this happens to other people and then it happens to you. Oh, suburb of St. Louis, Missouri. I have a friend in my MOBA group who's in Missouri and he's near St. Louis. Him and his wife are on a wellness journey too. Wife on a GLP-1, I think. Yeah, she didn't have I was thinking they're also in we have like a blend between people who've had bariatric surgery and some who've had GLP-1. And the husband, has lost 100 pounds and it's with diet and exercises and then training too. Yeah, it's so cool. So I get to see like a lot of their like they have a really cool house over in Missouri, but man, you guys have had some crazy weather, like so many tornado watches. So we're gonna go ahead and do modified. Oh, and I was showing like if you want to wear a tank top and you just don't like how your arms look, they have these things on Amazon where you can cover up the your arms and not be too hot. Just have your tank top on. And I decided to wear Mickey today, so that's why I've got my hat on. I was thinking about doing this outside, and then I changed at the last minute. So let's go ahead and do our modified 50 or modified push-ups. So whether you're doing it right now or maybe you watch it for inspiration, and then later when you're ready, you can do your modified push-up. Oh, you're having a beautiful 76 degrees. You know what? What is our temperature today? Hey, Jack, what's our temperature right now? Jackie Poo. What's our temperature today? Let me ask the weatherman. Thank you. Oh, our high is 81 degrees today. It's 12:29 in California, so we're not quite at the hottest part of the day. And as I'm talking, I forget my count. Um, since we're right here, we're going to go ahead and do a plank, and it's going to be a modified plank against the countertop. So you will start to feel it. Like I will feel it here in the triceps, especially if there's been a couple days where I haven't been doing it. So we're gonna squeeze the glutes, lean in. I'm wearing Finca leggings, and man, these things really snatch you in too. All right, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, you really feel that one. My husband's waiting for the kitchen so he can make some sandwiches. He's making submarine. I got this submarine dressing. I need to go to the store too and get a few things like my low sugar chocolate chips and things. Because I know next weekend we will probably be at some services down in Los Angeles. So I know we'll be busy. And okay, so now we need to do a wall sit. And you know what I like to do? I like to do a wall sit against the refrigerator. And I always end up, I was in this wall sit challenge and I kept moving the, refrigerator. So let's see if I can do this without moving the refrigerator this time. All right, so we're up against and we're doing a squat position. Sorry for the hand in the camera. So we're going ahead and sit up against the refrigerator or a hard wall, and you're gonna feel the intensity in your quads. Like, let me tell you, when you strengthen up your quads, you feel like you have robotic legs whenever you start walking. It is amazing. This is one area. So, like, I had to rebuild my muscles. I could have started strength training sooner. So, I did have muscle loss from losing weight a little bit faster, I guess you'd say. And I was doing cardio and I wasn't doing strength training. But now that I am, I've rebuilt my muscles and they're really getting strong. It's amazing. And the balance has improved too. I think it's Joe Sleep. What? Sleep is Joe Sleep and Slim Down Journey on here? Wait.
Yeah, I do. I don't remember the extract. Yeah, Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey. Yes, I listened to her song this morning, and I was, like, kinda bopping around, and I said, "I need to make a song like that because I really like the words in it." And it was about, yeah, non-scale victories and all kinds of things, and I thought, "Oh, I need to write down some of those words and then create a song." And she told me that to go to Jen's JC Calamity Jane's page, and that she has a video showing how to make one of those suno songs. She sent me a video reply, so in the comments you can see that, and I think you can hit the reply and listen to her. I love her accent, and yeah, I was like, it had a good beat to it. Um, and she said, yeah, she said, "Pammy, were you dancing to to the song?" I was like, "How did you know?" So, yeah, I loved the beat of that. Um, so I gotta go that's the next thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find Jen's video on how to make your own, Suno song. The funny thing is, in one of our health teachers meetings, they taught us how to do it for one of the assignments for the students, and we made one, but I was following the directions and I don't rem I didn't make one later. This was, like, over a year ago, and I thought, "Oh, it was kinda corny." It was, like, talking about your personality kinda stuff, and, I just never I was like, "I don't know." We just never really did it. Well, now I see the benefits of it, so I'm like, "Man," either I was gonna go back and find those, directions and make it, but I got some lyrics together on ChatGPT, and then I paid for this app to kind of come up with some different music, and then it didn't make the kind of music that I wanted, so I deleted that. And yeah, so I just need to use Suno, and hopefully I can get the song. Like if she found a really good song, so some music like that I think would be really good. Um, yeah. What's so funny, Paula? So I was trying to use StreamYard again because Grant was telling me that I could add videos if you add it to the media gallery. But whenever I was looking, I'm like, there's no media gallery. Well, I finally found a place for it. And then you could bring it up, but it just seems to me that you had to pay for the membership to have like an auto intro come in. So I'm still kind of playing around with all those things. Yeah, I am definitely still learning ChatGPT, but man, it has so many benefits to it. It's definitely makes things so much easier than like going in there and creating images. And gosh, remember that all the time that we spent creating PowerPoints and flyers and things, and they could just make it so much better for you and easier. And people are actually our friend that lives in Missouri, his wife is taking a class. I think he's taking it with them too, on training on how to be the people who work to make ChatGPT all happen. Like people are programming and all this stuff, and all these AI jobs, that are being created, which is good if AI is taking some jobs away, but also creating jobs too. So that's good. Let's see, make sure that we did everything. Oh, yeah, we got to do some knee taps. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take your hands out and then bring up your knee. And it's kind of like a reverse sit up. Instead of like doing crunches and sit ups on the ground, you're pulling in your ab muscle as you're pulling up your knee. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if I had my arm weights with me, then I would do some more arm exercises. But I am going to go outside on the patio and just chat for a little bit. Give my husband the kitchen, take our water. Hey, everybody. Paula, grab your water. This is to get our hydration. My water today, the camera's so weird. Mickey Mouse and the little cover, the sipper cup has a Mickey. The only bad thing is that this one's a 30 ounce. So I have to fill it up. Sorry for the closeness there. I have to fill it up more often. Okay, so you can have the kitchen. Hi, doggy doggy. So we can hear birds out here. And it looks like my garden needs to be watered. Grass needs to be mowed. You know, it's so funny whenever you have people come over to your house, I start thinking of, oh, what if they look outside? I need to cut the grass because I'm usually the person who cuts the grass on the in the backyard. We pay for a gardener in the front yard. Let me try to push this down. And and I was like, oh, people aren't going to look out there. There was one gentleman who came right in who was in the bushes. I know we have three people. We had two other people. Um, One gentleman comes right up to the window, looks out, and I was like, "Oh man, I wish I had spent the time to." Yeah, I got this on TikTok last year. Spent the time to cut my grass. I'm like, we're just not. We haven't been here a lot on the weekends, so I'm catching up on things. Like I took off Friday, last minute, of course, and spent the day to clean up and prepare for people coming over. Yes, on TikTok Shop. I used to do the TikTok Shop, like, um, what is it called? Affiliate shopping kind of stuff. And man, that was a lot of work. It took a lot of time and it did not pay off. But I put this one on the TikTok Shop too, and it didn't. I never made any sales from it. But I bought it for myself. Um, and we had it in the house for a while. So it has that anchor up there, and there's like the stand. And it is big enough where you could, like, lay on it. Watch. I think I need to bring the little blower thing out here. We didn't want to bring it outside for a long time because it gets so dusty and, um, spider webby out here. So look at this. It's big enough that you could woo, you could swing. Look at that. I should just stay right here. It's relaxing. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how much did it cost. I think they had, like, one of those, like, live specials, and I don't know, maybe it was 150. I don't know if it was 200. I feel like it was maybe 150, but look at it's, like, really comfortable. This is probably the nicest piece of furniture out here right now. It's hard to have things out here when you have dogs and they like to chew on things, especially when they're puppies. These Fanka leggings really suck everything in. Um, it's so funny? One of the things I thought about as a topic is, um, on my last video, not this last video, but last Friday, I did a week 140 update, GLP-1 jab day, and, Fanka, Fanka, they have the resistant bands built into the leggings, um, right here, and I have 2 pair. The first ones had vertical banding, and I wanted these horizontal ones because of my lymphedema. So it's like having compression legs on there, and then they have like they have the legs the bands that go around the bootay. Watch, let me show you. Yeah, Fanka, Fanka. Here's the logo. And funny thing is, okay, I kept seeing like sales on Instagram. And my first pair, I think I paid $80 for them. I know you can sign up and be an affiliate, but I didn't have the time to like go through all the process and doing it all. And but TikTok, I don't buy too many things on there anymore because it like sucks you in kind of like a shopping network. But I happened to see that they were advertising a special, and I got like two stackable coupons, and I got these for about $60 or $55. Um, and they were like, I think these were a little bit more pricey, so that helped. I think I saved about $20, buying them on TikTok Shop because of the coupons, and I think sometimes they'll run these coupons, like, if you haven't been buying on there in a while or something, and then Fanka will have a coupon, so they'll do, like, a Fanka coupon, and then they'll have a, yucky yard. think a coupon, and then they'll have a TikTok shop coupon. So you can stack those together and save more. So track both of them. Denise, welcome. Hello. And so on this video, it's the week 150 GLP-1 jab day um, update. And I noticed that when you put like the week number and update, it seems like more people outside of our subscribers will watch it. And so I don't know if it's part of the algorithm that a lot of people do. Evelyn Beautiful, I'm colored, just modeled her dresses she bought. Oh, darn it, I missed it. I'll have to go in there and watch her replay. Darn, I forget. Sometimes she is on Sunday. I know a lot of us don't have scheduled days, and it's so hard to have scheduled days. I would like to, at some point, hopefully I could do that. Um, yeah, so I feel bad that I don't have because I know when you have scheduled, it's really easier because I look forward to people who I know. I'm like, oh, okay, Wednesday's this person, Monday's that person, and and you can, and if you know when you're going to have it, you can schedule it. So if I'm pretty certain that I can, oh, you caught it just by chance. Oh, how cool. Yeah, that's kind of like I do. I will just kind of like flip through my subscription people and see who's on live. Just shots. Okay. So I squirrel. So I was talking about I did my Friday shot, and this was a week ago, and showed my scale. And like last week, watch, let me show you. I'll try not to scroll too much, but okay. So I showed this no, I didn't show this image. This is this week. So I pretty much stayed in the 150s this week. And then let's see how do I get that off. Uh, okay. And then I forgot to load. Today I weighed 148.2, but I didn't eat a lot yesterday. Plus, yeah, it was like the day after my shot, so I wasn't as like having cravings. So I had this video, and I at the end of some of the comments, I started getting, and I think it like I have over 1,000 views, and it starts going out to more non-subscribers when it's about that point. And so I started getting the skinny shaming. So there was first comment, it said, I could tell what she's taking just by looking at her face. Yeah, you are feeling sad, understandable. Yeah. Um, yeah, you do lose your appetite when you're grieving, that's for sure. So yeah, this one person said, I could tell what she was taking just from her face. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go again. And and I don't know. I know I get defensive in a way, and I just like want to get on there and make a comment back. Yeah, they are. I'm like, why do you? I was today. I was like, I should today. Sometimes when I'm going through grief, I start to get more angry and like I'll lash out at people more because I'm so patient and nice. But that's whenever I think I lose my patience the most. So today I was kind of feeling like that way. Like, I want to go back in there and say, like, why do you spend your time, your precious time, going on other people's pages if you're just there for negativity? And like, you look at like, why don't you show your face? Like, their icons are an animal, and then I look at their channel. I looked at their channel. They don't even have subscribers, so they're not like content creator, but they're just like out there. So who knows if they're just like people who create all these fake accounts, or like they'll create these accounts so they can be negative to other people. What do we call that? Like trolls. Like why spend your time being a troll? Like there's other things you could be doing with your life instead of projecting so much negativity. We need more kindness in the world, and people hide behind the cameras, So there was that one. Then there was one about, be careful. You're something like you're a shadow of yourself, and you need to stop kind of thing. And I was just like, okay. I'm like, oh my gosh, people don't even think about like one, I guess when you're on camera, a lot of times you're just seeing the upper body. And I've always been somebody who and a lot of people do lose weight from the top down, but my body shape has always been bigger on the bottom. Another lady I follow was dealing with trolls. The woman was shaming her and saying, "Why don't you lose the old-fashioned way?" I wasn't in the mood, and I let that lady have it. Good. Oh, good. Yeah, whenever I see those things, I do too. Um, and sometimes I have my mindset coach. She gets to like really rude comments and stuff. And so if I have the time and I'm watching, she's made me a moderator so I can put them on timeout and hide their messages and stuff like that too, and try to block them. On Friday, oh my gosh, she was live. She was, she's trying. She was talking about relationships. I think maybe not Friday. I don't know. It was some no, it was Friday. Um, and it was Friday morning or Friday evening, and she said, like, this guy kept changing. I put him on a timeout. He's like, you can't put me on a timeout, lady. And then I blocked him. He came back in another comment. I blocked him again. He kept talking about Uranus. He kept saying, bend over in front of the camera, like all kinds of stuff. And she said, and I had came into her live a little bit late. And and she said, "Thank you, Pam, for trying." He just keeps coming in with another channel name, another username, maybe not a channel name, but a username. And he did. He just kept coming in. And I would block him, and he just kept coming back. And so finally, I thought, I guess we just need to not give him any attention because he's looking for attention. And yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. But yeah, and so some of these people, I'm like, I just feel like I want to explain. I know my daughter says, "Mom, you don't have to. You don't need to explain this. That you're just it. You're making it being like you're defensive." I'm like, "Yeah, because um, I want to do that." The lady I follow, Chrissy, blocked and reported her. Yeah. Oh, and then I reported him too. Um, so yeah. So anyway, I always look thinner on top, and I'm bigger on the bottom, and it always makes me look thinner from what I can tell from what other people say, they always think that I weigh less than what I really do. And I was like, funny, like, I don't know how you think I'm a shadow of myself. I have not really lost, I'm not trying to lose any more weight. It's been a year and a half that I've maintained between um like 140, mostly 147 to 150. And I kind of bounced a little bit after my skin removal surgery. But I there was 1 week where I got down to like 144 a couple of months ago, and my doctor was really happy and they were excited about it. And I'm 5'4". Um, Today I weighed 148 point something. So you know what? And even my registered dietitian's like, that's she asked me what my goal was. And I said, I mean, I would love to be underneath the BMI that says overweight. Because if I'm 145, I'm right at the beginning of the overweight. So I think if I'm 144, it will say healthy. But if I go 143, 144, I get more comments, it seems like. And I'm like, I try to explain to people, think about like when you've had chunky face most of your adult life, and then you lose 165 pounds, it's like taking the air out of a balloon. It's going to deflate and we're going to get, the lines. And even my daughter, who's in her 30s, lost weight, or 20s to 30s. She has the marionette lines. She doesn't have like the as much of the aging because she's younger. And she's 40 now, but I'm 56 and a half, and the collagen and this and my skin doesn't stretch back really well. And I've been taking collagen for over a year, and it helps, like it helps with the getting the hair growth back, and it helps with the skin elasticity some. But I've never been able, like after being pregnant and stuff, never had my skin bounce back. And I don't know, my the European skin does not it's not very friendly with that kind of stuff with aging. Let's see, Paula says yeah, oh, you look great and right for your height, right? I think um I'm like, I'm happy with my body composition. The only thing I'm doing now is I want to build muscle and maintain the weight loss, right? And then work with dealing with the lymphedema and stuff. Denise says, I have lost the old fashioned, oh, I have lost the old fashioned way many times. Me too, right? And gained it back every time. Yep. And I'm thankful for GLP-1 tool to help with what I have lost now. Yes, Denise. And then you know what? One of my cousins, she posted something on her Facebook about some of the bad side effects of GLP-1 and how you got to be careful with shots. Just she was very anti-COVID vaccine, which I understood, but I felt like she was kind of addressing it with that. She's like, she posted something about because I came in and I said some comments about like how it's been a lifesaver and giving my life back. Um, and I don't know, I said a few things and I said it's just important not to put out negative things that you hear from social media that you're only hearing what people are spreading these rumors, but not about research. So shouldn't we put out truthful information? And then her other post was, like why it's amazing how when you say anything negative about GLP-1s, how so many people come out at you to combat that. And I thought, well, that's so funny because I just feel like there's way more people trying to come out and say negative things about it. So I feel like I want to defend the benefits because people don't always think about all the benefits. Yeah, like Jillian Michaels, right? Oh yeah. I thought you okay. So people get so judgmental and preachy. Um, so Dr. Um, oh gosh, I'm gonna forget his name all of a sudden. The plastic surgeon guy, um, Dr. Dubrow. Dr. Dubrow went out and got specially trained. He added on another specialty to his medical doctor degree, his licensing and his degree. He went out and became a specialist in obesity, weight loss and obesity, so that he could come back and have an argument with Jillian Michaels because she was coming at him or and saying negative things and wanted to interview him and be negative about it. And he saw the benefits. Now here's another kicker because a lot of people think it's all about weight loss and we know it's originally made for blood glucose maintenance, and then we have the same formulas that are FDA approved for weight loss. Um, um, but there's things coming out showing how it can possibly prevent dementia. And I'm just pulling up on my leggings. They feel a little tight right there on the tummy. Okay. And he has a family history of um, Alzheimer's and dementia. And he wanted to take a micro dose of Manjaro, not for weight loss. He doesn't need to have any weight loss, but he's taking a low dose to try to help prevent dementia. And so he's doing a little study, and it's called his new show with his wife is called Dr. and Mrs. Guinea Pig. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, she needs to be put in her place. Yes, she does. And that's the part, it just angers me to see so much hatred out there. And I even commented, like, yeah, so many of us put up with fat shaming and now we're getting skinny shamed too. Like who are we hurting? Um, and I mean, I think that with Retatrutide when that comes out, that from what I've heard, I think from the downsized, is that the Retatrutide, and I think Elizabeth from Countess of Shopping said that it's supposed to have more qualities um, with preventing muscle loss. So maybe with the prevention of the muscle loss, we can have all the same benefits and not have the muscle loss. Do you think it's jealousy? They want to be the only skinny kids on the block. I think there's some of that too. Yeah, I do think that there's some of that too. Um, but I was thinking, oh man, that we're gonna solve the obesity problem, and what are they gonna do? Like we're what if obesity becomes non-existent as long as people are willing to do all the things that they need to. And I was kind of saddened because I watched some streaming lives at Disney World, and I realized that there are so many people suffering from obesity. I mean, I knew I had, and I knew that I spent so many decades being over 300, or I'd be 290 to 300. And I see them suffering and how hard it is walking around because I was that person too. And I started thinking like, well, there's so much negativity. What if people are one, there could be afraid to try out the peptides, or two, they don't have the ability to get it. to get it approved. And so it could still be the, what do you want to call that? The, I don't know, the ability for people to be able to get it. Instead of being happy for us, they want to find fault. So disappointing. So disappointed in these people. Yep. There are a lot that are obese. Yeah, I feel for them. Yeah, me too. And I see them like hurting as they're walking, and I know how that feels because I did that. I was at Disneyland and man, my legs would hurt and I'd have to stop a lot and take breaks. Sometimes I'd rent a scooter and I see all the people on the scooters. And you know how like I remember after I had gastric bypass surgery, I was just like, I wanted it for everybody, like I want this for everybody. I want you all to feel good. You know what I mean? Like um just feeling better in your skin and your body and moving without the pain is just incredible. If this helps with strokes, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and other health problems, it's worth taking it. This all runs in my family plus obesity. Yes, because these meds are not affordable for all. Some can't get them. Yeah, the availability, I think, is what I was meaning to say. Not affordable for all. And that's where I feel like we need to get in there. And you know what? I posted on my community um, a, I think it's called GOP1 plus Z or the plus side something. I forget their channel name, but it's on my community post. And they did an interview with Rosie. Is it Rosie O'Donnell? Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell. And how, although there's a lot of political stuff connected to Rosie O'Donnell, and I kind of like wondered if I should post it. And a lot of people don't like her, and I get frustrated with some of the things that she says too. But I really liked her interview, and she had so, like, I was wanting to preface it with, no matter what your views are on this person, just like, I love Oprah, but there's some people who don't like Oprah, um, and I may not like and I don't always agree with Oprah's politics either, but why does that matter all the time? Like, a person is a person, and we may not always have the same views, and that's the way it should be, right? Like, we should be able to be amicably open or open to other people's views, and it's okay to disagree with them, but you don't have to argue about it. um it's just like we're all different, and if we were all the same, we'd be like robots. So we don't all want to run around being purple robots. And people who it's just, I don't know, inclusivity, and people just forget about stuff like that. So I do think that, oh yeah. So anyway, in Rosie's interview, Rosie's phone was on a GLP-1. So this is what I learned yesterday. Yes, I wish it was affordable for all and insurance starts covering it. Yeah, because when I had gastric bypass 26 years ago, my insurance covered my surgery, and I think it was my husband's insurance. So I wasn't a teacher at the time. I was working in a hospital, finishing up my degree, and and if you had a certain BMI, insurance was covering it. And so I know that with GLP-1s, they might go to that like BMI situation too. Who knows? But I think it all depends on, we all know that it depends on the people who are handling the insurance. And maybe some of these people have never had a weight problem and they don't want to let people get thinner. And then people who I feel like probably on somebody on my school district insurance, they must be having health, they have dealt with obesity because they have it approved for people who are type 2 diabetic, or close to it, and the doctor writes it as a type 2 maintenance. But the fact that they have approved certain skin removal surgeries for weight loss is incredible. So I feel like there's somebody in my structure that must understand what it's like to be obese and probably got some help too, I hope. But Rosie, so she had a vertical sleeve a couple years ago, and she said that she said she was saying that she went to the doctor and they had always told her that she was pre-diabetic. And she said, for 10 years, they've told me that I'm pre-diabetic. Now, she said that her A1C was 7.0, and that her doctor said Oh shoot, you have to go to the store. Okay, darn it. Yeah, right now we need to go shopping too. Have a good time, Paula. Be safe. Have a great day. And maybe you'll catch this part later. But Rosie is on a 2.5 milligram, and I think it's Manjaro. I'm pretty sure, yeah, pretty sure it's a terzepatide or Manjaro. And she mentioned her A1C was 7.0, and that the doctor said that although she's not diabetic until she's like a little bit higher, I feel like maybe because I thought diabetic borderline was 6.5. So I don't know if she kind of misspoke on that. But yeah, just be careful. Good chatting. Yeah, be careful, Paula. Have a good day out there. Um, find some good deals and some good food. But she's taken a 2.5, and she is taken a 2.5 because it was suggested to her by her doctor because she has the vertical sleeve. They felt like she didn't need as much, and she doesn't need to lose weight fast. And so if she said she was doing this more so to manage her blood glucose. And I think she was talking about other benefits that she experienced as well. And that she is losing weight because she went to the doctor and said, "Hey, she didn't even know." So I feel like this was an interview that they posted yesterday, but I feel like they must have done this interview before and just reposted it. But she said she didn't even know that the medicine they gave her would also um, cause her to lose weight because she said, "Doc, I must be dying. I lost 10 pounds and I'm not hungry." And she's like, "Something's wrong with me." And she said, "Well, that's a benefit or a side effect of the GLP-1 that she was taking for her blood glucose management." So she talked about that, and she talked about, how I think the whole episode was about insurance and availability to more people and fighting for more insurance that includes obesity treatments. And so I definitely resonated with a lot of things that they said. So I send my community post if you guys get a chance later on. I thought it was a good video to watch. And whether, that I don't think it matters if people agree with Rosie's politics or not, um and lifestyle or anything like that. I think humans are humans, and she had a really good message, and I thought it was a good one to share. So I was like, how many people are going to come back at me for posting? But because her and the president don't have the best of relationships. Oh, yeah, anyway, I won't even go there either. But, and she mentions that in the interview and about him, like, here's people like her. She's like, "I don't mind. I will be a spokesperson for Eli Lilly, for free because I feel so strongly about getting this out for people who need it." And, that I guess the other company, Nordis has a spokesperson, and I forget who their spokesperson is. That's a celebrity, but she's like, I will volunteer my time to advertise for Eli Lilly because of the benefits. So I was like, you know what? See, that just goes to show that she is for that message that she gave was she knows what it's like to be obese. And she said, when the president thinks it's okay to bully someone for their obesity, and no one, not even the women's association or the women's organization, came back to back her up and say anything about someone talking about a woman and her obesity issues, which that's disturbing to me. You know, there's good things and bad things about our president, and I don't agree with a lot of things that how he's handled some things. And um but I always felt like we should be respectful of our presidency no matter who's in there. um so yeah, Denise, yeah, so check that out. Hey, guess what? I'm like 9 friends away from having 1K, 1,000 subscribers. And but the only thing is I lost a lot of my watch time hours whenever I kind of wasn't as active posting over a year ago. And so I'm rebuilding my watch time hours. So I'm at like 700, and I think it was 730 watch time hours. Hi, Melody over 40. Hey guys. So Denise, Melody is over in Denmark, right? Denmark? Danish, Denmark. Did I say it right? I think you're in Denmark, right? I think it's so cool. So my great grandma on my mom's side, her family was from Norway, and I think it was near Oslo. Was it Oslo, Norway? Um, and so her family name was Foss. And apparently, from what I've been told, they owned like tugboat company. They had a tugboat company in um, Norway. But now my great grandma was born in 1903, and they had already come over from Norway, two brothers or three brothers. And their name was Isol, Isol something daughter. No, shoot, what is their name? Ah, Ragastol's daughter. Ah, they Isol son. It's kind of like in the way that they put their names, if you're a can you still hear me okay? I'm getting like a ringy noise, buzzy noise in my AirPods. I want to make sure I'm still connected okay. Um, the way they do their names, if you're a daughter of Isol, then you would be like Isol daughter, Data. And then if you're the son of a person, then you're Isol son. And so it's so interesting to watch our to look at that history. But my great grandmother, I thought she was born in Norway and then they came over. But when I looked at her, like the ancestry, she was born in Iowa. Okay, you can hear me good. Thank you, thank you. And Denise says, "Hi, Melody." Um, that they were in Iowa and there was a big migration from Norwegians going to that area. And Norwegians were also not Catholic, they were mostly in that area. They were, oh, it's the religion that's very close to Catholicism. And I'm having a brain fart right now, brain fog. Which also one remind think makes me think, how are GLP-1s helping dementia when I'm having so much brain fog? Is it I think it's because we need to eat more healthy fats for our brain, and it's also menopause too. But I sure hope I'm hopeful. I put some creatine in my water, and creatine is supposed to help with brain fog too. So Dr. Dubrow also did the study on himself on creatine, and he said women just need like 3 milligrams a day of I think it's milligrams of creatine, and men can handle 5. That's all we need, and we could get the benefit of the brain fog, and even with the muscle building too. Um, but what I was saying, let's see, and then Melody says, "Hi, Denise." Melody, you're from Denmark, right? I want to make sure I said it right. So we have a little town in California called Sol. I always pronounced it Solvang, but I think it's really pronounced Solvang. Solvang, and it's a little, Danish town. Just wanted to say hi for a minute. Oh, thank you, Melody. Melody, can you tell us real quick again where you're from? Denmark, right? And what area of Denmark? If you have time to post that. So we have a little Danish town in Central California, and they're Danish, and all kinds of things from Denmark. There, it's a little town, and our family has been visiting there for years, and they have a stores with all the crinkle pastries and cuckoo clocks and ice cream parlors. There's a Spanish mission there, and um, little pastries called apple skivers, and they're like apple with pastry over it, and they fry it in this little mold, like a metal mold, and they like flip it over, apple skeever. And so it's kind of neat. And I love their clothing that they wear. They'll wear like period clothing. Melody says people always talk when weight is high or low. Otherwise, they will find something else. Oh, yeah. You are doing the best you can for your health, and that is commendable. Thank you, Melody. Did you happen to hear all the talk about like people doing skinny shaming and there's the fat shaming, the skinny shaming. Yeah, it's sad. Like, you just, it's like, let's just find tools that help people, and that's what I told him in my cousin's chat too, is, instead of putting people down and saying fear mongering, like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna grow a 3rd head or a 2nd head," um, just know that people are just trying to find whatever they can to be healthy, and, it's not just taking the GLP-1 shots, it also is a whole lifestyle change, and, it's a mindset of, we've gotta do some cardio, we gotta do some strength training, keep the muscle mass, because, yeah, I did lose muscle, and I was focused on more on cardio, and I wanted to get the weight down and feel better because I didn't feel like doing other things. But I saw how weak I was getting and how my balance was off. So muscle training, the strength training has really been helpful. And, if I were to have still like the fat in my face, I was weighing about 165 when I still have more fullness. So I noticed when I looked at pictures that that's where I saw more of the fat come from my body. And, maybe the retatrutide will help with less of the fat loss, like especially in the face. Um, However, like if I really want to do something about it at my age, that means that it's going to require a facelift, and I could get micro fat injections into the fat pads right here that go away. Um, and that's gonna be $25,000. So, do I do that to make people happy and not make comments? I mean, I would do it if it's what I wanted to do, and I would love to, do that and take back 10 years, right? Look at that. It didn't take much. Just take a little bit of skin over here and pull it back. But, I don't know. I do I do think that everyone should do what makes them feel better. So, I think doing the facial part, although this is the most visible, and I think that would probably would make me happy to do that. I feel like that would probably get, oh, so much more criticism too. Like, I think that we all worry about facial, yeah, yeah, do wanna I think I would go for getting a facelift. If I had the money, I know that probably that's one of the areas that myself and my family would be the most worried, because you don't wanna look too different. I would just wanna refresh, to take care of the platysmal bands in the neck, so pulling back the neck and pulling back here just so that it's not so the marionette lines. The marionette lines or puppet lines and the platysmal bands bother me the most. I do have always wanted, even while I was chunky, want my upper lids done because I have the hooded eyes and the very loose skin, and that I've had that most of my life. One eye's this eye's worse. My dad had them. It's a genetic thing too in our family. Um, so this, I feel like I could do without getting a lot of criticism because it's kind of like more common, and I feel like my family even would understand it. Um, I know my husband worries about me having too much surgery. One, because and my daughter too, and every surgery you go under, there's risk. Yes, that's what I want. Insurance usually will pay for upper eyelids. Yeah, you know what? I started checking into that, and they said it wasn't sagging enough to cover. Right, okay, so, like, you can see that this one droops over. I guess it has to come down over the pupil area before the insurance will cover. You would think that they would cover, especially because, like, this one, yeah, I have the loose skin. I, had that, but it's not as bad as, like, this hooded one, you know? So, yeah, so this is to get the eyelid surgery, it's, excuse me, I think it's about $3,000. So, yeah, I think that's something that I would like to save money for. And I do want to get my arms. So that's why I'm wearing this tank, this like shawl kind of cover, because you can wear a tank top, and then if you don't like your arms, you can wear sleeves and stuff. So there's a lot of different styles of these sleeves. There's I wear some that you could put underneath a short sleeve shirt because this one's like a sweatshirt, and, so you probably wouldn't wanna wear this when it's really hot. Um, I have some that they're just like you can have them where they're, I think they call them a shawl, and they go back and over the sleeves, and they can also block the SPF. They can also be cooling, and they have, like, a nice fabric to where they're cooling. Thank you, Denise, for sharing that you would like to do a facelift too, because I kinda it's like one of those areas that I'm like, "Oh, I'd like to do it, and is it the one that gets the most criticized, and should I even" I hate to even be that person, I kinda worry about that. Yes, that's what I want, insurance you um, but I definitely am gonna be very, very careful, and I always am, and researching and making sure that the doctor can do, a really good facelift without changing how you look and not changing you or your personality, and I don't wanna be, the Hollywood, like, super overly done plastics look. That's the other fear. So I think there's so many fears because it's like your face, your identity, it's how people see you, it's how they recognize you. Um, so you don't want to get botched and you don't want to get overly stretched or anything. So, I don't want I don't want the lips to be going, like that either. So I think it's got to be very careful and how they do it. I think like, "Hi, Food for All. Hey guys, Food for All is in Toronto." Food for All, you know what? I think you just missed, our friend who is in Denmark, Melody over 40. Um, hey guys, if you don't follow Food I gotta do one of those night bots so you can put your channel in here. Food for All and her husband, Mr. we call him Mr. Food. He is a chef. He does late night cooking. And so it'd be like 8 p.m. Pacific time. So I know it's like 11 o'clock for Food for All in Toronto. But they do a lot of really good cooking and it's like using whole foods too. So Denise says, my arms are bad, but I can hide them. Yeah, yeah, that's true about the hiding them. I can hide them when I want to, but sometimes I feel like yep, I worked for these saggy arms. I just want a soft pull of the skin, if that makes sense. Oh, yeah, yeah, just a soft pull of the skin, just a refresh is what I think too. Yeah. Um, the only thing about my arms for me, I can definitely hide them, is that I live in a hot climate and it would be nice to feel comfortable wearing a tank top and not and or wear sleeveless work blouses, or even just not even just sleeveless, but just like short sleeves to right here, like regular tops, like t-shirts. And if I want to wear a short sleeve top, then I put the sleeves underneath because of this area that I don't like to show. Denise says, I'm down here in South Mississippi. I was telling my students, like I said, have you guys heard of the song? Like when we were kids, we would sing MISSISSIPPI, different ways to remember how to spell Mississippi. They didn't even know that. They hadn't heard that before. Food for out, when are you doing the arm surgery? So I think it's gonna be July. Um, there was still my doctor was trying to see if they could get approved to do a breast lift too. And oh, did I change my mind? So I have it tentatively scheduled. Um, I think like July 10th. I forget the day. It seems so far away. I'm like trying not to get my hopes up, but my insurance did approve it. And we moved it from June to July to kind of see if they would approve the breast lift, and they called it a mastopexy. And so far, the insurance is coming back and saying only if there's trauma to the breast or reconstruction after cancer. And what's so crazy? my mm, sorry, let me drink some more water. My sister, I have a sister. We have the same dad, different moms. She's 65. I'm 56, and she lives in Georgia. And, she never had kids, and she's been on Mounjaro and she's a little bit shorter than me. Um, she wanted to get skin removal surgery. And so she did a couple weeks ago. I think this 3 weeks ago. She had a breast lift, tummy tuck, and she ended up adding her arms at the last minute. She got her arms and she did the extended from her elbow to the armpit area, like down here. And man, it has really taken her energy. She said she's not like she says that she sees that I have a higher pain tolerance than she does. She says that she's a wimp, and I don't know, maybe the age could be a lot to do with it too. I work out maybe a little bit more than she does. Um, but she was really tired and but she did go back to work. She works in accounting and at a furniture store. She does like accounts payable and accounts receivable. And so I think it was like 2 weeks and she went back to work and just for like a couple of days just to make sure that the things were getting done. And let's see. Am I crooked letter, I is it crooked letter? Oh, humpback. I is a song or rhyme I learned from Mississippi. Really? Am I the crooked letters, the S's? Am I crooked letter, I crooked letter, I humpback, I. The humpback instead of P. That's the song you guys learned? Wow, that to me, that seems a little bit harder. I'm like, M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. Why did you guys hear that one too? How funny. Did I have it did I think I may have heard cricket letter before like that. Wow. M-I cricket letter, wait, M-I cricket letter, I cricket letter. Yes. M-I cricket letter, I cricket letter, I humpback, I. I wonder if it's the tone. I'm gonna search it to see what it sounds like too. I should have put cricket letter twice the last time. Oh, okay. M-I cricket letter, I cricket letter, I humpback, I. No, I think you did put it right. S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. So, yeah, the dilemmas. Oh, but you get this. So whenever my sister went in for, so she had, my sister has horses, and, over 15 years ago, one of her horses kicked her in the chest, and she had a lump in her breast, and so they always did mammograms and kept an eye on that lump. So nothing's wrong with the lump, but, she asked the doctor if he could remove the lump because she could feel it, and she just wanted to see if he could remove it as he was doing the breast, lift. And he said, "Sure." And I guess it was part of his practice to send it in tissue to check for any cancer. And so she went to her 1 week post op and she's like, you would, she called me and she's like, not going to believe what they said. Like, I wasn't expecting this, but they found cancerous cells in the tissue. And she went to an oncologist a couple days later and they said it was stage 0 and it's a moderately aggressive kind, and it's in the ducts. It's a ductal, and I think it was called DCI. She sent me a picture of it, and she had just had a mammogram in February. Yeah, February or March, February, and it didn't show anything on. Oh yeah, you're in the background. No problems. Food for all. So she the breast cancer didn't wasn't the kind that would show up right away in a mammogram, and the doctor said that having her breast lift actually saved her life because they sent it in and found the cells. And so I think they took 8 different samples and it came back in 7 of the samples. And so what I read when I saw about a ductal DCI, ductal cancerous cells, they stay within the milk ducts, And for the most part, they don't spread out for a while. Um, but so with the consultation with the oncologist, they both agreed it would be good to do a double mastectomy, even though there's cancer cells in one of her breasts, just so that she doesn't get the chance of having the other. And she never had kids. And I read that that also could put you at a higher risk for the ductal um, cancer. Now, the other thing I read is that if you could breastfeed for, I think it's at least over 6 months, that that helps prevent some of that type of cancer. That is good that she requested it taken out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she's decided. He said that the surgery turned out so good. The surgeon said that he did a really good job. Your plastic surgeon did a really good job, and it was so there's a son, a dad, and a son in the practice, and the dad did the breast surgery. The son does reconstructive surgery. So they're going to have an oncologist and the reconstructive surgeon, the son, do the surgeries together on June 3rd, and they'll do a double mastectomy. They're going to cut through the same incisions from her breast lift, and they'll put in implants. Yeah, they're going to put in implants, and they said that she won't have any sensation in her nipples. So, but keep the they'll keep the outside nipple. So, um, yeah, but she's happy with that solution, and she just wants to get it done, and they didn't want it to go any further either. And then we also talked about how, she asked if it would be good for me and my daughter to get the BRCA gene testing, and they said yes, that would be good, and she wants to get the BRCA gene tested too to see if she has the BRCA if she's positive for that BRCA gene that, can be an indicator of breast cancer. It's interesting that on my dad's side of the family, there's a lot of breast cancer, um, and then the doctors always tell me, "Well, since it's on your dad's side, you don't have the same, um, chances of getting it as if it were on your mom's side." But I'm due to talk to my doctor because it's time to check my blood work again, and, because we gotta see if my ferritin levels came up, and make sure check on my calcium levels and my, vitamin D levels, those had gone low after surgery, and my kidney creatinine levels were high. And we think that that could be because of the 6 months I was on a high dose of Tylenol after the surgery. I was on Tylenol and gabapentin, pregabalin, gabapentin, no, gabapentin for nerve pain. And yeah, my sister's having a lot of nerve pain too. So they added another medicine for her too. She said she was gonna send me an update picture. I'm curious to see how she's doing, and I think she still has her dreams from her surgery. So, but yeah, June 3rd, she's gonna go in for surgery. I pray that her energy level, um, doesn't take her back down again because that it seems like it's been a harder recovery for her. But also, it could be that she had all three things done too: the arms, the breast, and the tummy tuck. Um, when I had my surgery, it was the hernia and the tummy tuck area. So, and I don't know if I'm just going to get arms or if I'm going to do arms and breast. I know for sure arms, and but I don't know if the breast. And then, like going back and forth. Do I do it or do I get the testing first and then see? So I better hurry up and get that done, get that testing done, and just see what they say because I don't want to go through getting let's say I get the breast lift and then I find out that I have some cells. Then I got to go back in just like her too. So maybe we can prevent that. Oh, we got 5 people in here. Do you know what's funny on this Prism Live? You can't see the like buttons. Like it doesn't show you likes. So yeah, I hope everybody can hit the like buttons. Let me see if I can switch this around. No. Okay, we'll leave it on that one so we can see. It doesn't let me see like buttons on here. So what's everybody up to? I do need to get in there. Have some sandwich. Yeah, that is a lot at one time having surgery. Yeah. I know. I think maybe if you're a little bit younger, perhaps would have been a easier, um, like an easier recovery. Um, uh, and I know that it's okay to combine, like, if you're going to do upper body, do all the upper bodies together. If you're going to do lower body, maybe do that separate. Oh, thank you. You're like number three. Oh, so you can see that it says like number three. I don't know why it doesn't let me see the likes on here. Um, so let's get 5 likes on here. Or 4 likes. Somebody just left right now. I scared them. It likes hitting the like button is free. So my husband made a sandwich. I have a Jersey Mike sandwich from yesterday, so I'll probably eat the Jersey Mike so it doesn't go bad. And I eat like about a 3 inch of that, and it's a he got, oh, what kind of bread is it? Um, not, I think it's sourdough. So I think sourdough has a lower glycemic index, and isn't so bad. Did you guys know? So on talking about Dr. Dubrow show on Mrs. and Dr. Guinea Pig, or Dr. and Mrs. Guinea Pig, they did this little testing on bread and found out that if you put your white bread, or I guess any kind of bread, but let's say it's white bread, if you put it in the freezer first and then you have it after it's been frozen, that the gluten doesn't affect you as much as if you eat the fresh white bread. So if you freeze it first, then it doesn't affect your blood glucose and the carb hit to your bloodstream, to the blood sugars as much. So it is good to freeze your bread. I even throw, like, you know how you get, like, I like solar bread or keto bread. It's nice and soft now. Like the bread has really improved, um, and so that lasts longer. I've been putting that in the bread because I usually just toast it if I'm going to have that and put some almond butter on it. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I'm feeling a little urgency to go to the bathroom. Let's drink our water, everybody. Drink our water. Cheers to you. Have a fabulous Sunday. I think I'll go ahead and end the live. And I do need to do another set of my strength training. And it would be nice to get some steps in today. Maybe I'll go to the grocery store. Like Paula Harding was up as on here in the beginning, and she headed out to the grocery store. I think I will go to the grocery store too. Pick up a few. Oh, Grant is here. Hello, Grant. Hey, Grant, I did my daily 50 and then decided to come out here on this swinging egg chair to do some talking. Look at it's like a little swing chair. I bought this on the TikTok shop last year. Denise says, I need to do some lifting. Yeah, I need to do some muscle lifting too. I've kind of been congested a little bit um, since since Thursday, since we had the whole, that's whenever our friend had his accident. Hey, I finally passed that. Oh, you did? So, guys, I was awake at 2 in the morning midnight here in California. And I think it was like 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning for Grant. And he was on Euro, was it Euro Truck Simulator? And it was so interesting because I was like, oh, it's finally a game that I could probably do. And I think you go on Steam, is it called SteamYard? Like, here we have StreamYard. Steam, maybe it's just Steam. My grandsons have Steam too. Like he will sometimes ask for Steam cards or money to be added, and he could buy games and stuff. And Steam, okay. And he was doing this, man, some really hard turns with a diesel truck with a long trailer on this simulator game. He finally got the right turn on his game last night. I was starting to fall asleep. I was like doing this, Grant. I'm like, I'm gonna go. And then I stayed on there and I stayed on there. And then I finally took out the AirPod and went to sleep. And Grant says, Hey, Denise. Okay, maybe I'll stand here a little bit longer. Um, So Grant, I guess I missed. So Beautiful I Am Colored had a she had got some dresses and she tried those on. So that's a replay that I'm going to go see today. And I don't know if anybody else is on live. I think it would be so neat to like find a way that you could put the links in the comments for everybody to go to. Denise says that was so sad. Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I was watching there's a video on YouTube, and when you search like our area, I think it says there's this guy who posts accidents in the area, and if we search like pedestrian ped, fatal pedestrian accident, or even pedestrian to truck, or accident on snow road, um his this guy filmed the truck. You could see the guy, an 82-year-old gentleman, having a sobriety test. He was having a hard time walking. Like you could tell because he's older. That man that was driving the truck, um, I'm sure if it were me, I'd be pretty freaked out and nervous for the fact that I hit someone, and so I can imagine what he was going through, too. But at first, when I had pulled around and I didn't know that my friend was involved in that accident, um, I was looking because I had this like crazy feeling and worry that comes over me just to make sure it wasn't him because I knew he goes walking in the evening. I saw the truck and then I saw this guy getting a sobriety test and he kind of stumbled and I thought, oh, it's a drunk driver. But then it worried me because it looked to me like the person had gone up on the curb. We still don't know why our friend was crossing the road right there. We just keep trying to figure things out. Like, was he crossing from the sidewalk and coming back to our neighborhood? Um, and he almost made it because it seems like he got hit right by the center divider in the number one lane. Um, or was he like did a loop and then he was going across there? Like why go that way? But it made it sound like he came like if he entered the roadway from the center divider right into the traffic, which I don't understand why 40 minutes later that he was going in that direction instead of doing his loop and going to the signal light he would have done. And so it's like those kind of questions are just puzzling us all. Um, the older gentleman who was driving passed the sobriety test, and he's 82. His reaction time was slower. It was already had just gotten dark. Um, and the only thing I could think of is for whatever reason, I think our friend was distracted, um, or misjudged seeing the light that was not too far away, the signal light that wasn't too far away, and thought that it was red and that there wasn't a car coming. And that truck, I don't know if the guy's truck would if there was a problem with the headlights or not, but it was a 2010 Chevy Silverado, and there's a big dent in the front of his truck. And sadly, in the video, it shows, a body in the roadway with the cover on it. But my grandson's friend had driven by before they put just happened to be driving by and was looking and saw his body on the ground before they put the covering on him. And I was just like, telling Zayden, like, don't like tell him not to tell you all these details. You don't want your mind going there and thinking about these things. I think he did, but because he mentioned something about his ribs would have been broken if he survived. Oh, it's just so sad that he's a loving husband and father, and such a good social worker, that clinical social worker. He helped people at a medical clinic called Omni for a few years. He, since 2014, worked in the prison system, and he helped a lot of people dealing with addictions, dealing with um, their issues with parents not being in their life, with drug addictions and stuff. Just so many of the mental health issues that people are facing. And he would be willing to give you the shirt off his back. He came here from India. He was studying to be a priest, and then um, dis- decided not to do it. He was kind of like more of an activist, I guess, in the area, and just ended up leaving the monastery and but stayed in the Catholic faith. And in India, his part of India of Kerala, there's a lot of Catholic Indians there. And he came to America, you know, with the dream of having a better life and helping his family. And I'm pretty sure he met his wife before coming here. They were married in 2020. No, not 2020. Um, 2010, 2000. They were married in 2000. And came to Los Angeles area, lived in near um the area where they had the Pasadena Rose Parade, so Pasadena, and lived there for a few years. And his first job was at a gas station, and his dad said, "What did you do going to America to work at a 7-Eleven? You did not do that. You did not go to college and have 2 degrees, a bachelor's degree and a master's degree to go and work at a school at a store, a convenience store." And I think he was just having trouble because of his language, getting his accent kind of more toned down. Um, and so that was causing him struggles in the beginning to get his career. But eventually um, he got his transcribed from India to here, and probably had to do a few other things before using his master's degree in social work, and started working with s- uh, inmates who were predators, sexual predators. And so that was a hard job. And then went into one of the prisons that is, 20 minutes from here, 30 minutes, 20 minutes from here, maybe 30 minutes. But and their reception prison where all inmates go through there. Um, and there was one time, gosh, that he could have been attacked by an inmate because somebody didn't do the button or have the emergency button nearby. So there was a lot of things, that I learned from him. We learned about mental health. And if there was times where he helped us financially too, that um that he if I ever needed, he's like, you don't have to feel bad to ask. If you ever need a loan, just let me know. And I don't like to borrow money, so it would have only be like a situation where um it was a couple days from a payday, and something came up, and so he would help out. He helped out a lot of people. And he has a really nice house in India, and we're always invited to go there. I don't know, I know it's going to be strange now, but they have a nice home. They were able to buy a home during the foreclosure after the big housing crisis. So their house in what's called Stevenson's Ranch, it was 500,000 back in like 2008, and now it's worth over 1,000,000. So they often talked about to pay for their kids' medical school, should they sell their house and use the money to pay for their education. The wife is a nurse and is now a nurse administrator, and she's actually going through breast cancer right now too. She had surgery, had a mastectomy, and next month is having a reconstructive surgery. So a lot of her surgery is her breast cancer is similar to my sister's. And so I learned from him some things about it, and he suggested a few things too. And I know that right now, like I tried to ask her his wife, how she was doing with I was like trying not to hug her too hard. And she, they for her at this time is all about her husband, and she's not thinking about herself. And she did not sleep very much that first night at all. I don't even think she fell asleep. And her husband told us that she was one that he has to watch because she will fall asleep. Like she could like nod off really easy. And so she comes home during her breaks and takes a nap and then goes back. So I think she has like some issues with sleeping. And oh, it almost sounds like narcolepsy in a way. But she's very tiny and petite. And thankfully, one of her cousins that came was making her eat something because she hadn't been eating. That's not good, you know. You and yeah, I can't even imagine. Can't imagine. You know, every day they woke up and they prayed together. Before they got out of bed, they prayed together. And over in India, everybody in his family goes to church in the morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then they go to work. And at his house, their family house is there. They have coconut trees and cashew trees. Yeah, and his brother is there managing the farm when his dad was alive. His dad only passed away like 3 years ago. His dad lived to be in his late 90s. His dad would be out there in the farm making sure they would hire people. They have people there that they hired to take care of the produce, the coconuts and the cashews. They would send the coconuts to be processed, that they could make into coconut water, and lotions, I think it was even. But, somebody else would take care of that part, but, and they sell those kind of things. And I think his house there that really is a mansion, um, cost like 300,000 American dollars to build there. And it's beautiful. There's a on his Facebook, there's a beautiful video of his nephew being married there. And it's the southern part of India is more tropical, more jungle. They have monsoons, so much vegetation. Um, he mostly ate vegetarian, but he would try some meat every once in a while too. Um, and but their life is changing now, and hopefully his life insurance and those kind of things will help to pay for his son's education. He would never want for his son to like change his mind and not go to medical school. Um, Interesting, ironic thing is that there was a text message that he made to one of his colleagues. He's been so excited and ecstatic, always talking about his kids going to medical school. And once they accepted going to this program, it's called a straight program, I think in New Jersey, where you do your lower division, upper division, and then you go straight into medical school. You don't have to have a break. That he was so um, happy and proud. His son is in all these AP classes. He's like, he doesn't even need to take this one AP class anymore, but his son is tutors people. His son actually even works and tutors with autistic kids too. And his daughter tutored this autistic boy, and then the son took over after she went off to college. And finished her first year of medical school in Grenada, and just flew back yesterday because they were already planning to be there for her little brother's graduation from high school. There's just two kids, and she always took care of her brother like if it was her baby, and so they're really close together. And they told mom that our daddy's wishes. He told us that he wanted to be buried in India, um, they told mom that that's his wishes. And yeah, so after they have services here, I think maybe next weekend we'll go down there for services at the church in Santa Clarita. And then she's, obviously this is a whole process, try to get everything situated, but they're looking for a funeral home that will be able to arrange for the flight to India. So that'd be the next thing. And they have a good community. It's something that is so special to see. Like, it's neat that the people in their neighborhood, many of them go to the same church, the same like Indian Catholic church. And if you notice, like a lot of Indian families, like they'll move into the same neighborhoods together. And I think it's because of that community. They all work together, they help each other. They will go to each other's houses for dinner, for prayers, for the special holidays and prayer days, and they blend the culture of their area too with the religion as well. And everybody supports each other, and if anybody's having a hard time, they help each other. And that's so amazing to see. You know, a lot of us move away from our families and look at their array, their family, a lot of families still in India, and but they go home at least 1 month, 1 month out of the year for a whole month, sometimes twice a year, to visit. And that's where he wanted to go to retire. You know, he had his career here, and after the kids were away and done, he wanted to retire and retire in India because it's a beautiful place. For him, it was very heavenly there, and beautiful there. And I saw that, like I look back at pictures, and he's right. Like it is so pretty. It's like a tropical paradise. I know there's different parts of India, that are not so pretty, I guess, and they just look different. But that lower area is like near the coastline, Kerala, Kerala. That's very tropical and beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go on another tangent there, but yeah. So thank you guys for being here. And Grant probably wants to get back on his simulator. I'm going to go ahead and get out of these leggings, and I'll put my jeans on and go to the grocery store, get a few things for the week, and got to go back to work tomorrow. The time flies, right? Time flies. My daughter is working this weekend at the hospital, and she's a social worker. She worked with our friend Sibby, and she had a rude patient yesterday. Very rude. Said something very un. I don't know how to say that, but just rude. And she walked out, and she did her notes and clocked out and said, "I'm not putting up with this." She's upset. They were friends first before we got to know him, and they worked together for many years, um, from 2014 until 2024. And she moved to another prison, and but they stayed in contact because he stays here with us a couple days a week. So yeah, so we're just all a big family and family friends. And it was nice to have her coworkers come over, their coworkers yesterday, and we offered some tacos and some Mexican food. My daughter ordered up a tray of enchiladas, carne asada tacos, rice and beans and chips, and so that people, so they could come over and eat. And so that was nice. And I think today she's going to get to hang out with some of her friends too. And they all needed it. Like they came over, and one of the friends said, she was working at the clinic where he used to work at too. And they worked at the prison together. So it was like these two different places, and a lot of them would work at both places. And she said she wanted to be working at the prison that day. They actually lowered the flag half staff for him, and they've never done that before. Um, he was a big force. Yeah, he will be greatly missed. Whenever you meet people who are like angels on earth, and they teach you a lot, and they teach you the importance of your faith. And yeah, so definitely I've learned a lot from him, and I'm going to, honor his memory by doing the things that he taught us. Yeah. So I'm going to go potty and change my leggings. Yeah. Thank you, Denise. Yeah. And I'm gonna go to the grocery store and eat a bite, eat a little bit of sandwich. My husband made pancakes and bacon today, so I actually had a pancake. Dolly Parton, we like those Dolly Parton pancakes. I had, like a small. I know it's not a complex carb, it's not a healthy carb, but I had that, and 2 pieces of bacon. So, so I'm gonna go have a sandwich, turkey sandwich, and my registered dietitian says so she only wants me to have like 45 grams of carbs at meals, so it doesn't spike my blood glucose. And yeah, I need to probably stop sitting in here. Let me pull up this tripod. Sorry, hold on. Stand by. Here we go. I should probably not be sitting here too long. And I need to get my legs moving. Ooh, my knee just popped. And do some more movements and move my body. So if anybody missed out at the very beginning, we have the daily 50. I think it's so important for us to do some strength training, rebuild that muscle because we need to be able to get up and out of a chair, right? We're gonna get up and out of the chair. Here we go, right? Like squats and the lunges. And yeah, I dropped a my yet last week I was 150, today I was 148. And that happens. You don't eat as much whenever you're grieving. And but 148 would be my usual. I'm wearing these leggings, they make me look a lot thinner than I am. But yeah, I can get into a size 5 now of jeans that have a little bit of stretch, but they need to be wide leg because I do have thicker legs that have a lot of the excess skin and that get swelling in my legs from the lipedema and lymphedema. And I wear small or medium on the top. So thank you, Denise. It was fun chatting. I don't know, doing a wrap up. And yeah, so you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's all be blessed. Let's spread the kindness. There's enough of the negative people. There's enough of these trolls that come in here and skinny shame us. Grant, if you missed it, yeah, I think you missed this, but on my video that says week 140 update GLP-1 jab day, I got like 3 or 4 skinny shaming type comments and saying things about like, oh, you should be careful with those shots. And you're a shadow of yourself. You need to stop. I'm like, oh, it's funny. I'm maintaining 1.5 years now. So it's not like I'm trying to get any lower. And I don't think 150 pounds or even 148 pounds is being a shadow of myself. They, judge from the appearance. And yeah, chubby cheeks, losing weight gives me the marionette lines. But I'm also 56. My skin doesn't bounce back as other people's. So that may be younger. Um, so if I got a facelift, I guess maybe people wouldn't complain. Wait, comments no. People are gonna skinny shame and fat shame. It's just gonna be a part of life. But I think that we need to spread the kindness, let people know that this is not right. You can't just go into people's why are you spending your time to make negative comments on other people's pages? Like, isn't your time worth more than that? Um, like my mom taught me if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. That was wise words there. Alrighty, guys. Well, I love you all and thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I consider you all my friends. Denise is going to be 62 in July. Happy birthday. We're going to be singing happy birthday to you in July. Happy birthday to you, right? Oh, yeah, our friend, we just celebrated his 54th birthday and our grandson's girlfriend's 20th birthday on the same day. We went to Olive Garden. I'm so glad we went because he always kept saying, I want to take you guys to dinner. And we just we had so much going on when Zayden was going through his cancer that we couldn't go out. And so it was fun. I'm so glad we did that. So you know what? If your friends invite you to go somewhere, do it. Spend time with your friends too and your family. Yeah. All right. Prayers to everybody. Many blessings to you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And let's have an amazing day. Let's get moving, right? All righty. Should I do my little outtake video? Should I do this one? I don't know. Let's see. Is it Sally for? Hello, welcome to Pammy and Manjaro Journey with Pam. I wanted to show you some before pictures and then we're going to go ahead and move on to our program. So you see a variety of different sizes here, starting with 2010. And this was before my gastric bypass revision. And then in 2018, I had lost a little bit of weight. I was traveling for work. These are some faces during my weight loss, especially in the first year or two, actually, the first 2 years. And then also a previous picture in 2018 with the graduation. And here I am now after losing 165 pounds. It took 2 years to
get that weight off. But look at all the things I'm doing now. I'm living my life again. I'm moving. I'm enjoying my family and going to do fun things. This picture right here, it was after my gastric bypass 1 year after that. So that was a long time ago.
Bye,
And
food
yeah, walking by the
girl.
beach, here's some sunsets. I like to share those. And I love gardening and coffee. Today, we're going to go ahead and do our daily 50. Let's get started. And you don't even have to put on your shoes.
So I need to make an outro. I have an intro now, and I need to make an outro, and then I'm gonna watch one of Jen's videos. I think hopefully today I want to learn how to make a song with Suno. Lighting looks so dark in here. All right, well, bye you guys. Bye, Food for All. Say hi to Mr. Food for me, and I'll try to catch you on a live if you guys are having a live tonight too. If you guys don't follow Food for All, her and her husband have a great channel. They're in Toronto, and you can search it by at Food for All AL at the end. So you see her comment there. And they're in Toronto. They do like they're making like whole foods, fresh foods, and he shows how to make it taste good. And man, they made a really good soup last night. Um, and I shared it over on my community page too. So if you check that out. And then I also shared on my community page a really good interview with Rosie O'Donnell on taking 2.5 milligrams of Manjaro to help her with her blood sugar maintenance, her A1C, and she's losing weight too. But she's not about like losing weight fast. She has had the vertical sleeve, and but it's helping her to lose a little bit that she needed, and very slowly. And so she had some really good points, like. And I was saying earlier, like no matter how you feel about the person and maybe their politics and things like that, she has a good message on this one. So check it out. And I think it's a good, more people out there fighting for insurance coverage, obesity coverage in our insurances, and being able to have more tools to fight obesity. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Peace out. Bye.